Okay, we're doing internship Zoom Q&As. Before I start the session, can I just quickly try and explain to you guys why we are doing these sessions? Because yesterday after yesterday's session, I got texts. People were like, "Yo, bruh, you're stressing us out. We're trying to have our holidays and stuff like that." The main reason why we initiated Internship SA and all of these Zoom questions is because after I attended the ICSP meeting, they did explain to us, good guys, by next month, the applications are starting. And I realized I only was sure about two hospitals. And most of the interns that I've been asking, they didn't get their first choice. People got choices from their five choices. And you must make sure, Uguti, amongst the five, you would go to any of the hospitals. You'd be comfortable, even if it wasn't your first choice, you'd be comfortable. So basically, it's about doing that type of research and just making informed decisions. Yeah. Yeah. So today I have with Dr. Mukondeleli. He doesn't want me to call him a doctor. He's like, obviously, you guys know I'm a doctor. I wouldn't have been invited. Ufunzo. Dr. Ufunzo is working at Letaba Hospital, which is in Limpopo. So, Dr. Ufunzo, are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing as well?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing fabulous.
That's great to hear. It's great to hear. Thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you so much for agreeing. Not too many people agree because as fans are want, some people are shy, which is understandable. But thank you so much for just taking your time and just coming to address us and the few questions that we might have. Okay. So I'm
No
just
worries.
gonna get straight into it. All right. So I just want you to set the scene for us. You're just gonna tell us where is Letaba Hospital, what kind of environment is it? You just talk about the area, the roads, konke nje usichazele, paint a picture basically.
So, like you said at the beginning, it's a hospital in Limpopo, Tzaneen. It's called Letaba Regional Hospital. So it services a lot of the hospitals here, the districts that are around. We have about 5 hospitals that sort of send the patients through. We have clinics as well. And yeah, it's in a quiet area. It's around farms. For those that want to come, it's around farms. So there's not much um, fun things near the hospital. So you'd have to travel a bit, but it's a nice space, calm. Ever since I got here, there hasn't been any much anything to worry about. Crime wise, there hasn't been any of that vibe. What else? It's been nice. It's been refreshing.
Nice. And then some of the students were asking me like for you to just elaborate on the area. Okay, you said it's a township, it's a town, there's farms nearby. Just comment about the roads and the availability of electricity and water, load shedding, doesn't it give you a problem? Those types of things, yeah, as well.
Yeah, but we're living in South Africa, so electricity will always be an issue. But the hospital
Yeah.
does have a generator that provides electricity. There are certain times where you'll find that rooms are powered so that they can supply theater, they can supply NICU, but it's not like the whole day. It's just for a few hours, and then you'll have your electricity back. Roads wise, there are potholes this side. There are potholes. If you do look up Letaba Regional Hospital on your Google Maps, you
Yeah.
can just sort of have a view of how the road looks like. Yeah, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad.
All right. And then in Letaba Hospital, was it your first choice, second choice?
I didn't really have like this is my first option. Like you said earlier
Mm.
on, it's important that you just have hospitals that you wouldn't mind going to. When
Into.
I put up my hospitals, I thought, okay, one, I want to go to Mankweng. Mankweng was actually my first choice because a lot of
Mm.
people from UKZN were going there. A lot they heard good things. They have gotten good feedbacks from the people that are doing the internship. I applied. First option was Mankweng. Second one, I chose Letaba, right? Third one was JST Job Shimangana in Northwest.
Rest,
Fourth
okay.
one, I think I put up Kalafong. Fifth one, George Mukare. So it was my second option.
Option. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what languages do the people around there speak? Yeah.
So it's a mixture of a lot of languages, but predominantly it's Xitsonga. There's is it Kilovedu or Silovedu? Yeah, Slovedu. There's Chivenda here and there. There's Sibedi, but most of the patients they speak Xitsonga. So if you want to come here, be ready to learn the language, and yeah, it's not been it hasn't been easy, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Getting there. All right. And then I just wanted to also know like what questions should I be trying to answer or should I be asking as a student to try and pick my top five, you know? Like what criteria do you think?
So for me to come up with the five options, like you said, I asked a lot of people. Um, your my sister is calling me. Why is she calling?
Oh, sorry
Okay.
about
So don't worry. Okay. Um so when I sat down with myself, I looked at where I'm from. I'm from Limpopo and I was in KZN at the time and I'd travel by bus. So the hours that I'd spend on the way was just too much for me. So I thought if I were to get a car, driving as well would also be too much for me. I don't want to go through all of that. The other thing that I looked at was where is my family? My family is at home. Then Limpopo, my sister's in Northwest, my brother is in Pretoria. So I thought, okay, let me look at places
it.
that are around family support so that if I were to go to Northwest, at least I have my sister there. If I were to go to Kalafong, my brother is just around the corner. So I'm not gonna struggle family wise. What
Okay.
else? Yeah, the traveling time, the distance was one of the things that I considered when I chose my options, family support, and also the hospitals that I applied for. I went through SA Docs. I looked at the reviews, what they
Mm-hmm.
offered, the reviews from
Yes.
also from the interns as well, looking at the departments and how everything has been. Those are some of the things that I looked at when I chose my hospitals.
Yeah, with SI Dogs last year, did you have to pay for any membership or was it still free? Because I logged into it this year and it was like pay for a subscription to get. I'm like, oh wow, this thing was
But
free.
I was shocked as well to learn that it's now
Hmm.
you need to pay a fee. Last year we didn't pay
Yeah.
anything. You'd have access to all the
Yeah.
information that they put out there. But I think this will help those that don't have the money to pay or
Hey, yeah, the
those that
Zoom
don't have
session.
access. Yeah.
Okay. And then moving on, Letaba Hospital, does it have DQs? And then I also just want to know with this, what is the state of the DQs? Is it fully finished? What would I need to buy? If I go there, how much is the rent? Yeah, well,
Funny enough, before I got here, I didn't really have an idea or a picture of how the DQs looked like because the people that I was talking to would say, no, I don't have pictures of the DQ. I don't have any picture. So when I got here, it's like, oh, maybe they were just protecting my naive mind who thought, oh, maybe it's going to be like an awesome place. I got
mm,
here. I'll send you the videos. It's nothing. It's nothing to be proud of that I live inside the hospital. It's just, oh, by the way, we offer you space so that at least you're closer to the hospital, nothing else.
mm.
So the intern curator, if you do apply and you get placement here, they'll call you and tell you that they only offer you a stove. So that's the only furniture they offer you. So the rest of the stuff, your fridge, you need to come with it. Your microwaves, all sorts of things you'll have to source out yourselves.
Oh, oh my God. Okay.
So
And then you
the
said,
DQs,
sorry. Mhm.
It's if you've looked up the DQs from California, we don't have anything like that. Right now, we just have houses that were built a long time ago, no maintenance whatsoever. Um, it's different houses. The interns, first year interns, most of us are in a sharing space. So we find that there's a house that has 5 bedrooms. So you find that you're living 3 people in one, sharing the common areas, the kitchen, the bathroom. And other houses, it's only one person. So that's manageable. Other ones, it's like 10 bedrooms. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know how they're living because I live with 2 other people. It's fairly manageable. The other guys, I don't know how they're living.
And who decides where you guys are placed in terms of the DQ? Or you first come, first serve?
That's what they said. So when we got the call of when to come to Letaba, they said we can come on the 1st of Jan. That was the holiday.
Okay.
So we woke up as early as we could. We got here. Already when I got here, there were already people that had moved in the day before. So I
Before.
was like, okay, I'm not gonna get a single room here because it's like there's a queue now of people waiting to get into the office of the residence
Curator.
manager. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, the manager whatever. So when I got there, um, it's very manual. There's nothing online where you fill in your details and you get placement. You get there, you sign your contract, you sign the lease thing or the residence contract, and then shortly after that they'll give you a key and just allocate you wherever the space. So it's not, oh, there are multiple single rooms that are available. You get no, everyone is there fighting to get a single room. Second years interns, they get singles. Com serves, they get singles. So you shouldn't have expectations if you're coming here. You should just hope
That's
for the
it.
best that you get at least a decent place.
All right. And then how much is the rent amount?
So when we started, we're paying 1,880 for the mere fact that they provided us with a stove. Nothing hectic because the
Mm.
buildings they're not doctors are leaving. It's just a mess. And then I think we got a raise. We got a raise in April. So the rent money as well went up to 1,100 and something. I don't remember I'll show you the pay slip, but it went up a
Mhm.
bit. So
All right.
we're not getting what we're paying for, but you
Mm.
make the most of what you have.
What you have,
That's all I
yes.
can say. Yeah.
Okay. And then is there like laundry services available? Noma, you guys use your hands to wash, or are they washing machines? What's happening?
Like I said, the only thing the hospital provides is a stove. The rest
It's
of
the
the
stove.
things
Oh.
you source
Mm.
out yourself. Um, yeah, the nearest town is about 24 kilometers away, if not 20. And I think there are laundry places that you can get your stuff sorted out. Now at my house, we do have a washing machine. So I
Oh.
do my wash, yeah, here in my house. Other people, well, they prefer going out. Nah, at this point I don't have a car. Just putting it out there. I don't have a car. So I don't think I'd pay money for somebody to do my laundry, even if it's just gonna be an easy quick thing. I don't, yeah. They
Yeah.
do have such in town. Yeah.
All right. And then in terms of the availability of transports, do you guys have taxis, Uber? How do you move around? Can you survive without a car? Well, it looks like you're surviving.
Well, yeah, I don't have a car to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So the first few days that I got here, I used a taxi. Used a
Mm-hmm.
taxi to go to town to get few supplies. So when we had to come back this side, the taxi marshal said there are no taxis coming back to the hospital. And it was just, damn, we bought groceries, we bought stuff, and you're telling us that the taxi is not gonna go to the taxi rank outside the hospital. So we got dropped off at T Junction, going to
Mm.
Nkowakowa town, the nearest town to the hospital. So we got off. Luckily, other second year interns met us along the way. They gave us lifts. That's how I survived the first day. Second time, yeah, I went to town to what was I doing in town? I think getting groceries again. Luckily, I met other second years in the same shop that I was
Mm.
in. So I came back with them. So since then, I've just been jumping from car to car. Well, not really car to car, but there are people that have
Yeah.
kind of
Mm.
chosen me to be
Mm.
their junior. So whenever they go shopping, I go with them, and
Um,
that's how I've been surviving. There are no Ubers, there are no boats here. You depend on taxis. If there isn't any taxi by the time that you want to come back to the hospital, there are private cars that you can call. But from town to the hospital, I think if they haven't increased the rates, it's about 190 to
oh,
come back to
okay.
the hospital. So
Yeah, that's a bit pricey. Oh, wow.
it is, but looking at the inconvenience that
Mm.
you'll face every single time you go
Yeah.
to town without your own transport, you'll be forced to pay.
Okay.
But
Mm.
it's been well, it's been manageable.
Right. And then in terms of malls and recreation, where do you go? Like, how do you go? How do you go? Like, where do you go to like cool off, relax, or
So I'm not much of a poster, but I do whenever I get a chance to go out, I
mm-hmm.
do go out. So we do have a few places to chill and relax. The famous one is called Letaba Junction. If you look it up, you'll see that it's a nice space. The other one it's called Litsitele Guest House. It's also a nice space to find yourself in. The other ones are in town. Again, if you have your own car, you'll have easy access to a lot of these things. But around the hospital, um, there isn't any place that's a walkable distance. Also, taxis don't really reach these places that I just mentioned. So you need to know people for them to invite you out. Um, Town-wise, I don't think you want to go to town and go to whatever spot you want to go to, and then again have to think about taxes. So I'm not doing all that funny thing.
right? Okay, now I'm just gonna be asking you about the hospital here, man. Like in terms of supports, teaching supports from your seniors. Are you getting I know it's still your first years, but are you getting to do some procedures or you're just pushing paperwork? Yeah. And you can just take us through your rotations that you've um been through.
The mere fact that you got placed means you sort of need to be competent in doing procedures. So this side, we're not paper pushers. We do procedures, we do things that we expected to do as a doctor. So I started off with peds. Well, peds is not really much. It's just the ribs. It's just you taking patients for CT scans. We do have a CT scan, just not an MRI at the hospital. So that thing, ya gore NHI rural hospitals have MRIs. That's a lie. We don't have such here, but we do have a CT scan. So for peds, it's just the ribs. There's nothing else. Peds medical. There's nothing else. There's Gen Peds obviously and nursery. So most of the interns we divided into gen peds and the nursery side. Nursery, that's where most of the things are happening, where you have your incubation, you have a few things, but that's an ICU. Rena, as interns, we sort out the what do you call it, the low case. So low case, there's not much. It's just the ribs. It's just taking bloods. That's about it. Peds. So I did peds from Jan until March, and as a student, peds is very traumatizing. The doctors are not playing with you. The exams also are just hectic. But as a doctor or as an intern, you sort of get to be comfortable in handling patients. You're not under stress that they'll ask you about a differential. No, most of the patients that come through as when you're a doctor, it's like common things. Most of the things that I've seen here, it's just respiratory things, febrile seizures. What else? Another thing that's very common here is nephrotic syndromes. Most of the babies that come, they do have nephrotic syndrome. So it's easy things to manage. If they call you for an asthma exacerbation, acute exacerbation of asthma, you know they've already toned the patient down, the baby's on, they've nebulized, you're just there to sort out. So there's that part. You're not really getting overwhelmed. It's easy to manage. You just see your patient, you call your senior. Most of the seniors in peds, they'll take you through your first few days. So they'll guide you how to properly manage. But obviously you need to have an idea of how to examine
Yeah.
patients, how to write notes, presenting as well. You need to sit down with yourself when you're dancing the patient to make sense. Because when you call them, you need to say, I have so and so, what exam, this, my assessment is this. So medication wise, when you just starting, they'll tell you that, okay, this side we give augmentin 30 milligrams per kg. We give Panado 15 milligrams, yeah,
Yeah,
per
yeah.
kg as well.
Mhm.
And then Rivotril is 0.5, all these things they'll tell you, and also fluid management, they'll tell you all sorts of things. And then as you move, they'll expect you to have your own plan. When you tell them, okay, I saw this patient, it's a lower respiratory tract infection, but the child is stable. I'm thinking of discharging. We've given 1 to 3 4 5. So they do have support. There's also academic teachings every Friday. So it's either the intern, MO, or ComServe will be presenting, and you
Oh,
just
nice.
learn from the PEDS for me was 10 out of 10.
All right.
I
And
did
then
tell
in
you
terms of
that
the
as a student, yeah,
hmm.
go on.
No, and in terms, okay, you're saying Guti, you guys have presentations. Do you guys, because some hospitals they have assessments. Do you guys have assessments like where they assess you?
Oh, PEDS, I forgot. PEDS, they wrote a test. That time I was on leave. So I was like, okay, I dodged a bullet. So I came back this side. I spoke to the head of department to say, oh, I was on leave and you guys had a test written. What's gonna happen? And even now, I'm almost done with Ops and Gynae. I haven't been called back to write a test. I'm just crossing fingers that I don't get to write that test. I'll get signed off, but I don't want to write the test. I want to get signed
Uh,
off. I don't want to write the test. So
Did they
it's a
say,
recent thing.
sorry, sorry, did they say, Guti, what did the test consist of? Like what, or are they just asking you about the normal things that you've been seeing in the ward?
Um, from what they've told me, a few things were things that they saw, but things like, well, rheumatic fever, rheumatic heart disease. 1 out of 10 patients will be a cardiac patient. You're not
Mm,
gonna have those funny things appearing. Even CNS, it will be hard besides those seizures. Seizures are the things that you'll see. Other than that, there's nothing else. The muscular dystrophies, my friend, you'll just be wishy-wishing there. But you're not gonna see such. Your respiratory AGEs, seizures, DKAs, yeah, those are like the main, or nephrotic, those are like the main things. But there are certain conditions that as an intern, I never got to manage because it's not within my knowledge box, like your nephrotic syndrome. Those patients you can admit, but they are for consultants. Those are the ones that decided, okay, this one give Albuterol, this one steroid
okay.
resistant, wara, cardiac as well. Things the medical officers will have to really sort out your DKAs as well. Well, it's fun to know the sliding scales, how much you
Mhm.
you give, the calculation of the morning dose, the night dose,
Mm.
those things. But it's mostly for seniors to manage, and then respiratory wise. You're there to manage AGE, you're there to manage CGs, you'll manage discharging. You can decide when to discharge a patient. If you feel the patient is good enough or well enough to be discharged, you can make the decision and tell them, I'm discharging this one. Today they want that for 5 days, something of antibiotics, they good. So you can discharge.
All right. And then Ops and Gynae, how's it going? Is it busy? Do you get to cards?
Ops and gynae is a lot. Call wise,
Mm,
ops and gynae, it's a lot. I think the the anxiety comes from not knowing what's gonna pop up during your call, especially in labor ward. All those
yeah.
things that you learn of, especially CTGs. CTGs are the ones that will fetch you from wherever you studied from. Because
Mm,
in school, if I have to go back, we never really got questioned or were given the chance to really interpret a CTG in the working station. It was just an exam where they gave you a CTG.
yeah.
You could decide to skip it. But now, as a doctor, when they call you that there's a CTG that has decelerations, you really have to go and decide what
Yeah.
you do about the decelerations. So revising, even as an intern, you really need to do your revision. Yeah, first call with an ops and gynae. It was really hectic because I just started. I don't know what I'm expected to do. When I get called in labor ward, I'll go see the patient. But after the PV, even the PVs, when you start, when they ask you how dilated is she, you won't really know. Is she phased? Is the cervix
Mm,
posterior, anterior? You have nothing. But as you do multiple PVs, as you see patients, you'll get the hang of things. CTG wise, you really have to revise your CTGs. I keep on having to go back to my notes whenever I get called for a CTG, but I'm getting comfortable interpreting CTGs and resuscitating patients and managing calls. Yeah.
that's really great. That's really great. Now we're moving on to the next exciting parts. So I just want to
Mm.
know how much is the expected monthly salary? Is it including rural allowance? Yeah. Sanda leo.
Now I don't get paid, but other people are getting paid a lot of money for what they're worth, right? So, like I said initially, now I'm just working for free. Initially, the salary was 50,990. And then that was the first month, I think, when we got here, they paid us that amount, but it didn't have the rent from it. So following month, they deducted the 1.8 something. So you'd be left with like 49,000 something something. And then after April, we got a raise. So they added 1,500 and something to that 49. So now we're sitting at 51,167.
Mm.
That's inclusive of your rural allowance and your overtime. So yeah, basic. If you look at the basic, as wholly, Tina Shem, as wholly.
Yeah, if you look at the
For real,
basic, it's very low. Yeah, it's very low.
you're
But
just
over
getting
time,
assisted by the overtime and the
yeah.
rural. Outside of that,
Mm.
that's wholly sharp. We're not getting paid. I'm kidding. You're getting enough.
All right. Are there any extra costs that I might need to pay for, like parking?
No, not that I know. This hospital, no.
No. All right.
You don't have to
Okay.
pay anything extra.
Right. So I'm just going to ask you my final question, and then I'm just going to be accepting questions from the students as well. So I want to ask you now about finances. I want to ask you about the financial advisors. Are they helpful to you? What did they help you with? And how did you choose a financial advisor if you have one?
It goes back to knowing yourself and knowing what you want out of the salary that you get. If you
Mm-hmm.
know that you come from a place where you sort of have expectations, maybe there's a better word for that, but you sort of have things to sort out. You can then structure your finances in that way. Even as a student, even when you sit down with your financial advisors, because you have so many, there's Sanlam, there's Afrovision, already you have in mind what your first year of internship looks like, or what your life as a doctor looks like, looking at your family, what you like doing, and all sorts of things. So when you sit down with the financial advisor, already have like an idea of how much the hospital that you're eyeing will pay you. And
Okay.
then when you have that in mind, because I knew that Letaba Hospital pays around 50K.
Okay.
So I knew that, okay, family support, this is how much I want to give out.
Okay.
If I want to get a car, this is how much I'm capping the amount I'm willing to spend on. This is how much. Saving wise, this is how much I'm willing to save every month. Clothing, this is how much I'm willing to save or use. Food, this is how much I'm willing to. Well, food, you can be,
Yeah.
you can go up, you can buy for a small amount, but you can just have it written somewhere that, okay, for me, every month I'm willing to spend 3K on food. I'm willing to spend 2K on clothing. I'm willing to spend what do you call it? For family support, I'm willing to spend 3K. What else? Entertainment, I have a
Yeah.
thousand. If you're planning on getting a phone, you can also set it up that for my contract, I want to pay 1,500. So that means you need to have done research on the type of lifestyle that will suit your budget. And when you sit down with your advisor, they're not there to tell you what to do. They're there to listen to your story
What you
and
want.
how you want to live your internship life. But they also assist with guiding or sharpening the ideas that you have in the budget space. So now I sat down with both of Sanlam and Afrovision. I went with Afrovision because this is not me saying go to
Advertise.
Afrovision. Whatever they tell you, if it makes sense to you, go for them. If it doesn't, find somebody else that makes sense to you. I sat down with Afrovision. I didn't go to the main group thing. I wasn't staying at the time. So I had a one-on-one with Mr. Zondi. You'll know him. He drives an Audi. I don't know what Audi that is, but it's a really nice car. I don't afford it, but it's a really nice car. It's a really nice car. So I sat down with him, and immediately when you have start having a conversation, you can see that he understands where you're coming from. Financially, when you say something, he's gonna take note of it, but then he's just gonna poke you further and to explain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't you think probably maybe when you want to save, you can start at this much, looking at your salary that you're expecting to get paid, and then you can just say, oh, okay, I can actually survive. I don't have to do excessive things. I don't have to do funny things. So that's it. Before you go to the financial advisors one-on-one, have an idea of how you want your internship life to move. If you know that you definitely have family responsibility. Don't shy away from telling them the truth because they're there to guide you. They're not there to tell you what to do. They're there to say, okay, so you have 4 younger siblings. So how much are you willing to send every month so that your mom, your dad, everyone in the family or whoever you're supporting gets sorted out? But at the same time, don't ungazibulali with this family support. Be realistic and state it before you even send the money that this is how much I will be able to afford so that you set like a tone of how much support you can offer. Obviously, there's certain times where you'll have to go beyond, but have it set out that every month, okay, I'll be sending 5K. Already, if you set it out there that it's 5K and you can assist here and there, you will be on a good path.
Right. Thank you so much. Um, guys, you guys can raise your hands or just type your questions, any questions that you might have, for Dr. Mukondeleli on the chat, and then he'll answer. Okay, there were some questions that I got. Jamie Lee, do you have any questions?
Wow, way to put me on the spot, hey? But hi Doc. Hey Sarah. So I think Sarah's covered the majority of everything. I just wanted to know, okay, someone's asking, is there private accommodation around?
So if what I've seen happen is that if you don't get accommodation here in the hospital, there is a place in town that the hospital, I think, is kind of leasing. It's in town. It's not bad. But the other conserv that was staying there had a break-in. She got her stuff taken, her iPad and a few things. So I'm not sure how safe it is. But in town, you'll definitely do have a place to live. They
And
do have places. I'm just not sure where, but they do have places where you can get your private accommodation if you don't want to stay here. It's not a force. You can decide not to sign that contract,
yeah.
yeah, accommodation, and you find your own space. But you just have to make sure that when it's time to work, you're at work and you are there at all times.
And you don't know maybe how much the rent is for that private.
I'm not sure because I think because it's the one that doctors from here live in, the one that I just mentioned, I think they pay the same amount. But if you look outside of that, you're just gonna go by the rates of that place. So you'll be spending more. And near the hospital, like I said, there isn't much. If you do look it up on Google Maps, you do that thing that shows you the road. You can see there are no apartments nearby. So you'll be traveling. Like I said, from town to here, it's about 20 kilometers. So you'll be traveling every single day. There's not much traffic to worry about, but it's like, okay, you're traveling every single day. And yeah, that part.
And then in terms of work-life balance, do you think Letaba Hospital offers you that? Work life, like are you able to go groove, chill? Are you
I
overworked?
don't group, so I don't know how other people are doing it. But if you are post call, because you do get post call, like I said, there are joints that you can go to. There are places if you are a person who likes drinking. The Nkowakowa place that I just mentioned, it has places, but I don't have a car to go check out those places. But they do. It's not like Johannesburg where you know that Shimza
Yeah.
is coming at this place, it's closer to your workspace. No, we don't have anything like that. If you're lucky, the nearest place that these people can come to is in Polokwane, which is like an hour away. So yeah, you just have to be mobile for you to really enjoy. But like I said, if you come to this place, people are really nice. They'll take you out. And I'm sure by the time some of you come here, I'll be having my own car and we can just see the place.
All right. Are you in the process of looking for a car now?
I'm not even looking. I'm just chilling because there's no rush. That's the thing. There's no
Yeah.
rush on my side. I'm
Okay.
not. Yeah. Well, I've looked at cars. I've gone for a test drive for one of the cars that I've looked at. But right now I'm just chilling. It's what now? It's almost July and I haven't taken the first step. I think what's holding me back is the fact that my license is still in Pinetown. I haven't collected my license. So I'm just there's no rush. There's no rush. If I wanna go home, I can just take a taxi or go with somebody who's going home. So I think that's how chilled this place is. You don't really suffer. But if you do want to have an opportunity of doing your own things, like going to this place without having somebody invite you out, you can go get your car. But it's not like a rush. There's no rush.
All right. Thank you so much, Funzo, for just taking your time and coming and telling us and sharing this information. I really, really hope you enjoy the rest of your internship and hopefully Zobona imoto soon. Okay, it
I'm
doesn't
probably
look
gonna
like Mercedes.
no, it's pay sleep because
Oh, okay,
we
yes, you
usually
can show us. And also you can also show us, if you don't mind, the DQ, how it looks like as well. Ne payslip as well. Thank you. Zinhle.
please pay sleep. Let's see if I can share my
Can share the
screen. I'm
screen.
just Yeah, I'm just gonna go to our
Yeah, if you can't, I can just
chat.
also make you a co-host. Are you able to?
No,
Let me try and make
I'm
you a
gonna.
co-host.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can. All right. Hey, good morning. Hey, ngiyahola kodwa guys.
I don't know if you can see this.
I can see. I'm not sure if the audience can see. Oh, it's
And they
crossing.
see they can just
That cross is
they can
crossing, hey? That cross is breaking my heart.
are the other guys seeing what you're saying, or
Can you
are they
guys
seeing
just
what you?
comment in the chats if you guys can see the payslip?
Yes, we can.
Ngiyayibona ingakanani zinhle.
Oh, before deductions or deduction.
So yeah. So this is how they'll send you your payslip before you get paid. So this is the gross, obviously, and then the deductions. It's quite a lot. The net, the amount that comes into my bank is this 51.
But it's still quite a lot.
So current, yeah, it's quite a lot. The rent, it's 1974. It went up because we got a raise as well. Even the tax went up because we got a raise. That's the only thing that's appearing on my payslip. Yeah, don't add funny things to your puzzle thingy. Because just a few days ago, I got a call. Okay. Got a call from the Unlimited where they were offering me some insurance cover, something funny. And I was just coming from sleep when they called me. So I signed up and I'm like, okay, they're gonna deduct money from my puzzle thing. Because they said they offer it to interns, comserves. When I looked it up, I was like, I'm not really comfortable with having these people have access to my puzzle. I don't want them to appear. So I canceled everything. So just be careful of what you sign up for. Even when these people, what do you call it, financial advisors come to you, be sure to ask them questions. Ask them questions, ask them to explain things that you don't understand. Because you'll find yourself signing things that, hey, imali yaphela. You're paying thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
And outside Boni and your plans are not coming together. And yeah, this place, people are driving nice cars. So if you love cars, yeah, you can, you can find
Okay. Do you
yourself
mind showing us
driving.
the DQ?
Do I even have pictures? Let's see.
Are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm in my room. I took videos. I'll send them to you.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just a video. I don't think it's gonna play if I were to show it now. I don't have
No
pictures.
problem. No problem.
Yeah. No, I'll share.
All right. Thank you
Any
so
other
much.
questions?
Ang I think we spoke about most of the things. Yeah, doesn't look like they have questions. All right. Thank you so
No.
much, Dokne. Thank you so much.
No
Bye.
worries. It was a pleasure. Chap chap.
Ciao.